The NBA resumes tomorrow night after the All-Star break. Joel Embiid, James Harden, and the 76ers resume their season on Friday against the T-Wolves. Embiid is currently leading the scoring race this season, slightly ahead of Giannis. And with that, we bring in Erin Dolan from Daily Wager. Erin, welcome. Let's look at the odds to win the scoring title, shall we? Embiid, Giannis, and LeBron James have very little between them here. Is there one of these three you'd give the edge to at this point?
Yeah, I find a lot of value on Giannis at plus 180. He's been really consistent this entire season, has been able to put up that amount of points, even having role players around him like Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, both of which can score. As for Embiid, I do think his production will lessen just slightly in points per game, just given that James Harden is going to be on the floor and he was brought in to lessen the load of Joel Embiid, not going to really be a detriment to how Embiid is playing. He's obviously been great as an MVP candidate, but I do think that his points per game will go down. And as for LeBron, he's up there as well, but he's missed 17 games so far this season. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers start to kind of just pack it in for the season. As we know, they just have been a mess all around, and I don't see LeBron, considering the Lakers have the third toughest strength of schedule, really having to go against good competition and putting up huge numbers. So I do think the value is on Giannis in this market.
I think you're right. Sound logic there. Although maybe the Sixers just kind of increased their margin of victory with James Harden on the floor with Embiid. Let's look at the race for the Eastern Conference. There's some wild numbers out there, Aaron. 538.com has the Celtics with the highest chance of not only getting to the finals out of the East, but winning the whole thing. But as we look at the Eastern Conference odds, the Celtics are the fifth choice at 11-1. Aaron, what do you make of the disparity between the odds and the analytics here and of the Celtics' chances ultimately?
It's not surprising that we're starting to see the Celtics become more into the conversation and see them move down the odds boards, but I'm a little surprised that they're favored to just win it all in terms of some of those markets that we've been talking about. But I will say for the Celtics, I mean, they're firing on all cylinders, especially before the All-Star break. They won 11 of the last 13. Their defense has been great, ranked number one in defensive efficiency over the last 15 games. They had that great 9-game win streak, but I did want to mention that health is really important for the Celtics. That last game before the All-Star break, they lost to the Detroit Pistons. And as we know, we didn't have Marcus Smart in that game or Robert Williams. Both of those defensive players will be back to play against the Nets on the road. But I did want to mention that as long as this team's able to stay healthy, yes, they can make a push, but I don't see the Celtics winning it all. If anything, I would look at the Atlantic Division. They're plus 330 right now to win that. They're only 2 games behind the Sixers. So if you think that the Sixers are going to take some time to implement James Harden and really be productive in terms of that, I would look at the Celtics to win the Atlantic Division.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.